Carlow has a really rich history, and myself and Owen thought it'd be very appropriate to launch this project by really recognising the wonderful work that's already been done in Carlow Town in particular in collecting place names.
The Carlow Placenames Project, which is an exciting new project that aims to record minor place names in and around the town of Carlow. So in an urban context, we're thinking about like lanes and small streets and alleyways.
What made you do this project in the first place, the synthesis of it all?
The streets are still there, but their names have changed. For instance, Green Lane, you're all familiar where it is now. Back in the day, it was known as Love Lane. I have no idea why, but that is a small example. Then we had a list of 29 names where we could prove from historical documents that these places existed. It was the name that people use in everyday speech when they want to talk about a location.
Was it a daunting process at any stage to do the project like that?
Not daunting, interesting, yeah, because we didn't know when we started just how many we were ever going to find. The sheer volume of information to be recorded. When we started with the Lanes project, we had no idea of the numbers, and we ended up with 67 street names, and I'm sure there were others that we didn't capture. Hopefully we're capturing names of a countryside that is disappearing.
Yeah.
Because if you look at farming the way it's going now, look at the size of fields that you hear in a farm. I mean, I see a field now of 50 acres. When I was growing up, that was an average size farm. And it's one field now. It might have been 20, 50 years ago or 100 years ago.
So when certain people die or changes in farming practices happen, many of these names are lost. So what we're really keen to do is to get these names recorded and mapped so that we'll have a record of them for future generations.
We found the ledger of the Fever Hospital from 1832. And when you go to that, they have names and addresses, and a lot of the people who ended up in the Fever Hospital were living in these lanes. And in fact, one of the more interesting ones that we found in there, where you had people with addresses, basement in Dublin Street. You know the basement flats. The names that you come across, they signify an event, a location, a person, God knows, a whole range of things. We're making the record, and future generations can use that record as they wish.
But most importantly, that this information now will be brought into the planning process and with all future decision making. So all of these actions will be feeding into this, and these plans are all based on public consultation. So that's where we're going with this.
And some of the historic maps, streets that were there in the past no longer exist. And along with that, many smaller names of smaller lanes and alleys that don't exist were being forgotten. And they were really keen to get those documented before they completely disappeared from memory. So that was the origins of the project.